Hello there, welcome to Soul Records Presents After the Show. I always tell you it's the best show in the world. We had the best guests on earth on this show. You know, today we got somebody really super special, and his name is Jay Reezy. What's going on?
How you feeling?
All right. You know, you look as sharp as a
Thank
pin.
you, man. I gotta make sure I'm on point at all the time.
Yeah, you really are. And you know what? You know, your music is dynamic.
I appreciate that.
All your stuff, in one of your songs, I'm the man in the house.
Oh, you're man in the house. Yeah.
Hey, when you hear that song, every woman wants you to be the man in the house, probably.
Yeah, right. It's just, that record was more based of, like a lot of I display a lot of emotion in my music, so it's just like, you go through those arguments with your woman, and it's like, well, how am I the man in the house, and I gotta take the couch. You know what I mean? I got to sleep on the couch and deal with all the problems, but I'm supposed to be the man in the house. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, you do a good job at putting your feelings out in them songs.
Oh, yeah.
You're a great writer.
Appreciate that.
Sometimes, association brings on assimilation.
Yes.
And I know you was around that Gamble Huff crew,
man.
Carl Pep Brown. I had him on the show just recently.
That's one of my mentors, and that Gamble Huff thing, I wouldn't change it for nothing. Just being under that roof and being a part of that legacy itself. So many artists, so many producers came through there with us. So us ourselves, me, Carl, rest in peace, Tony D, and our other partner Vic, we had our hands on so many projects and so many people. But you know how the industry goes. People don't always reach back, but when we see them out there, we know what we've done. So that's always a great feeling. And
I heard this other mix, I think, with Chris Brown.
Oh yeah, remix, yeah. Back to Sleep remix.
Yeah, that was really good. And you got another company that you're doing some work with the Broad Street Films. Or
Broad Street Music Group is Broad Street Music Group is my company.
Okay.
And Broad Street Films is under that, and that's run by my brother D.S. the writer. K Puck is what we call him, but it's just like a company under it's all Broad Street, but Broad Street Films is under that, and he does all my visuals and things like that. So he's doing a lot of work out there with some of the new talent, the Meek Mills camp, and OBH Cash Money. You know what I mean? So he's under that umbrella. But Broad Street started, it came from me and Vic. We was in this little section in Philly International called 309A. So it's kind of an ode to Gamble and Huff and the legacy, and just our appreciation for being there, and our appreciation to Carl and Tone for grooming us. So we call it Broad Street Music Group, because Broad Street runs from one end of the city through the other. So that was our way and our approach with the music game. We're going to run from one end to the other. So,
yeah, it definitely does that. What part you grew up in Philly?
Yep, I grew up in Southwest Philly and South Philly. My mom's from Southwest. My father was from South, but I moved to Germany when I was about 6.
Oh, really? What
I was an
Germany?
army brat. My mom got married, and that's probably one of the biggest inspirations and things in my life, too, being able to get out of Philadelphia. So I was out of Philadelphia from the age of 6 to 14, traveling all around the world.
So when you came back and when you wound up with Carl Pep Brown, Leon Huff, Kenny Gamble, and all that crew,
I was found in the gas station. I was working at a gas station. I'll never forget it. Remember, like yesterday, I was singing, pumping gas, and Carl and the guys, I would always see them come in the gas station. I never knew what they do. I would see them come and go in this building across the street. So I was singing, and one day Carl heard me, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? He kept his word. He brought the rest of the crew over to hear me. And he was just like, you got something. And from then on, we just, started creating history. You know what I'm saying? Them guys really laid a foundation for me. I was in the studio 2 months before I even touched the microphone, because it was all about learning, image, talking, you know what I'm saying? So I carry those things to this day right now, so those things really were very impactful in my life.
That's great history.
Yep.
I know if it wasn't for, the way things have changed in this industry, where, you got to do all this stuff on the internet now, and it's not the physical distribution of recordings like it used to be. I'm sure right now, you've been had about 4 or 5 Grammys under your belt.
It's a whole new industry. Yeah. It's like you're a new artist all over again. You know what I'm saying? Whole new ball. But we had our I say great moments. You know, we did some things in Philly as far as sports go. Them boys from Philly, we made the front page of the Daily News. Probably performed at every venue in this city, sold out venues, Kimmel Center, and then I had one of my first placements through Philly International was Like Mike soundtrack. So that went on later. Right now, I think it's sold upwards to 3 million. And then I also got my first record deal with Philly International. Was the first one to sit me down, but I didn't understand the mindset of Mr. Gamble. You know what I mean? Not giving in to the music. I would always hear he talk about me, but when I sat down with him, I was a little offended. Like, they tell me you like my stuff, so. But that was the lesson he was showing me. Like, you know, this is how it goes. I'm not gonna be excited. But then our label in LA, RCA Records, showed interest, so we ended up doing that for a while. You know what I mean? But I was always, you know, allowed in Philly International because Mr. Gamble sat me down. He was like, you know, one thing I've always done, he said, you're a great writer. He said, I tell you that right now, you're going to have a great future in writing. He said, but I always pick voices. And he was like, your tone is like a Michael Jackson to me. You know what I mean? So that was a great compliment from one of the greats. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I really had a relationship with him. You know, about writing, because he really, that stood out a lot, because, you know, their empire's based on writing. So he was just like, you're a great writer. He told me that early. You know what I'm saying?
So with RCA, how long were you with them then?
I was with them about 3 years. And it was just like a creative difference, because the label at the time, we went out there with another producer friend of ours. His name was Damon Harris. So they separated us. Put him on one end of California, me on the other, and that's not what was told. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of just separated us, and I was like, I started with these people, so I want to kind of hold up. I want to be successful with them. I mean, and you know, the guy at the time, he understood that, you know, so he kind of just was playing around a lot, and you know, and ended up having a group with the concept of my look. So I just got a lawyer and got out of it. So, you know, it was about 3 years. We worked on some songs, you know. Just so much, it's so much with that, you know, especially when you sitting back knowing that you're way more polished and you're better than the writer writing the songs. You just like.
So you mean, so they actually wanted you to perform songs that other writers were writing?
Yeah, which I didn't have a problem with.
Yeah,
my big thing was, where's my producer? You know, the stuff that you like, the reason why you signed me is because of what this team created. So why is it that you separating us? I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I was, you know, I was just like, you know, in the middle of Compton, California, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it was just like me with all these other new people, you know what I'm saying?
You know, where, you know, I mean, you're a star in the circle that you originally that built you, you know.
Yeah,
you know, that's the circle that, you know, that made you, that's the circle that can keep you afloat.
Yes.
You know, the same way, you know, the old saying is the way you start off is the way you wind up.
Yep.
So, you know, I mean, if you start off with a certain crew, then you wind up with a certain crew. And Huff and Gamble can say they got that from me.
Yep.
So that's how that goes, you know. And so when you, you know, when Pep and all them guys met you, you know, and brought you on the circle, you know, that's cool. You know, yeah, continue to be in that circle.
They believed in me. You know what I mean? Like I said, those lessons carry on, because actually what ended up happening, I had a little break from the music, and then me and Vic, who was another person in the circle, we started writing songs, and that ended up being very, very important in our careers, because we ended up working with people like TLC, New Edition. We were with Brian Michael Cox. So the songwriting, I actually put the music down for a while in terms of me. So I started songwriting, and you know, T.I., Meek Mill, all these people we start working with, and the songwriting took us far. You know what I mean? So only 2 years ago, I really was the first time I ever put a project out on myself, because I wanted to get back to it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, the songwriting carried us. I mean, like, through this industry, people knew the name, you know, certain situations. But another thing with songwriting, there's a lot of people that you know, as we call these days, they hate. You know, there's a lot of haters that don't want to see things go through because they feel like you might be a little better than them and people might like you more. So
yeah, unfortunately, they be putting up roadblocks for that nonsense.
Yeah. So you know, but
shame.
You know, right now, you know, is a great time. You know, Pep is back in town, so I'm glad that happened. You know, and I just feel like God does things for a reason. I'm working on some things musically, still writing. You know, I still have my relationships. One of the guys on the song Back to Sleep remix is Corey Williams. That's a bro of mine. So we doing a project together, you know, so me and him kind of got together, and he kind of got me back into performing again, because I wasn't performing. I would just keep this music, and people would be like, the way you look and the way you sound, like, you know what I'm saying? So I got with my bro, and he does a lot of performances, so it was like, I do a lot of writing, he do a lot of performances. This is a chance for us to help each other. So up to this point, that's what I'm doing now, and working on this solo project for myself, some other movies and things, and just trying to be an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, and give back, you know, and help out artists as well, because, you know, I have a lot of knowledge, but I'm not willing to share it with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a purpose.
Yeah. You know, I have a label, you know, Resurrecting, you know, which is Soul Records, used to belong to Barry Gordy and Motown.
Oh, okay.
You know, just had a new article in the Hollywood 360, which, you know, eventually we had this article with me and you sitting here in there too. You know, and, you know, of course, you know, it was a landmark label, you know, because of the way the industry is now, you know, it killed the distribution, as I was saying, so it's like, you almost have nothing but the name.
That's it.
You know what I mean? The name carries momentum because, you know, Gladys Knight, I heard it through the grapevine, Midnight Train to Georgia, Jimmy Ruffin, all of these songs was on that same label. You know what I mean? You know, sounds like, you know, you'd be a good guy on there too for the future.
Hey, man,
you know, matter of fact, I'm going to take a break right now.
Okay.
And we'll be right back in 1 second with Soul Records Presents After the Show with my special guest, Jay.
Today's show is sponsored by Hargrove Demolition, your demolition experts. Hargrove is a family-owned and operated business right here in the southern New Jersey area, bringing you 45 years of demolition expertise. Hargrove has all your demolition needs, from emergency demolition service to demolition equipment rental. Hargrove is one of the state-approved recycling facilities right here in the southern New Jersey area. No job is too big or too small for Hargrove Demolition. Contact them today at one of their 3 locations.
When I was injured, I couldn't play basketball for my entire sophomore year.
After years of wear and tear, I knew something was seriously wrong with Deja's knee when the swelling wouldn't go down.
Young athletes are still growing. They need specialized care only available here at Dayton Children's.
I wanted the best care for Deja because I wanted her to return to the things that she loves to do, and that's basketball.
At Dayton Children's Sports Medicine, we're treating tomorrow's champions.
Right care.
Right now.
Right here.
Dayton Children's.
Just right for kids.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
I always tell everybody this is the best show in town. You know, today, you know, I got somebody really special on here with me, Jay Reezy. You know, Jay Reezy is a soul singer, son of a gun, if you don't mind me saying so. And he can write just as good.
Yeah, man.
You know, Jay, you know, before I took the break, you know, I was talking about Soul Records. You know, I know now Philadelphia International Records, they had a, you know, with Gamble Huff, you know, they had all kinds of super hits, you know, Wake Up Everybody, Me and Mrs. Jones, they had the OJs, the Blue Notes, you know, Lou Rawls, they had Billy Paul, you name it, you know. And, you know, of course, you know, I got to pat myself on the back of the head, you know, because Soul Records, you know, they had Gladys Knight, Jimmy Ruffin, you know, the Originals, the Fantastic Four, Earl Van Dyke and the Motown Brass, you know, Major Lawrence, you know, they were all on that label as well. You know what I mean? And I mean, you know, you're the kind of guy that can bring any label to light. You know, if Kenny and Leon decided they wanted Philly International to jump the hoop, you'd be the man to take it over.
Yeah,
You'd call Pat Brown and your
yes,
whole crew and to get done. You know what I mean? Soul Records could even do something with you guys, you know, since Leon and Kenny decided to they done been so successful that they can't be no more successful than they
All
are.
about the work.
3,000 hit records. I'm sure Soul Records got 3,000 hits, but a whole bunch of writers: Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Barry Gordy. So I mean, but mostly with the Philly. And Philly had a good writing crew too.
Right.
Because City, that was on my old label, Mac Dad Records, he was one of the writers with them as well.
Okay.
City Brown, Whole Town Laughing, that was one of the hits that he wrote. Matter of fact, Kenny Gamble gave him a writer's contract when he showed up. But you know what else I want to ask you about? Because I know that you on the radio too, 100 Heat.
Yeah.
I hear they say you keep it 100.
Yeah, like the last 2 years, I ended up going to this other station. It was called Philly Hot Radio, and I met a lady there by the name of Simply Monica. So we were just doing the interview, and after the interview, she was just saying that my partner Corey, she was like, what would you think about having your own show? So they tried him on the show. I would be there doing all the technical stuff because I'm like a technology geek. So then she was like, how would y'all feel about having your own show? So we just, started our own show, the Corey Williams and Jay Reezy show. And we moved to, which was Heat 100. Simply Monica started her own brand, which ended up being Heat 100. So I've been on there 2 years now. We on every Monday from 6 to 8. It's internet-based radio, but we get a lot of love in the city. We do a lot of great things. So the Corey Williams and Jay Reezy show every Monday, 6 to 8 on Heat 100. You can download the app, and actually I just got a promotion to Director of Operations for the station. So I'm looking to bring in some new ideas and stuff like that. So have you return a favor, have you on our show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd be glad to come on there. 'Cause I know Carl Brown got Pep Talk.
Yeah,
too.
And that's something we just added to the rotation. And that's my brother. I love him. And one of the pacts we always had is whoever makes it where, we're gonna always make sure we look out. So part of my give back to him is every Monday Carl comes on. You know what I'm saying? And we do an inspirational segment where we give inspirational quotes and. Added him to do some pep talk, man, because I see the message and what he does on Facebook every day is just enlightening, and I think it needs to be heard. You know what I'm saying?
Your show, the show that you do is what's your show? So the public can know.
Oh yeah, the Corey Williams and Jay Reezy show.
And what day do you do your show? The same?
Yeah, every Monday.
Every Monday
from 6 p to 8 p.
Okay.
Everything's digital now, so you can get us on the app. We have huge followings in Italy. Japan, a lot of our few followers down south to Miami, Atlanta, South Carolina. So every Monday we have about anywhere, the least number, 2,500 listeners. The most is like 10 to 15,000. So.
I'd be glad to come on your show. One day.
Open invitation whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I most certainly will do that. And I'm also gonna probably somewhere along the line see you're such a good soul singing dude, you know what I mean? I got a guy from LA, he got one of the guys is friends with Marvin Gaye's sister.
Okay.
And they got a guy that they call the Prince of Soul, because that's what they used to call Marvin Gaye, because Marvin, he used to write for Soul Records too. He was one of those be for real for the originals that was on Soul Records, because all the Motown crew, which was the Joe Bett Music Publishing Company, the Stone Diamond Music.
Okay.
I know you guys are real familiar with the Mighty Three music, because with Leon King and Tom Bell, so yeah. But Barry, he had Joe Bett and Stone Diamond, and these were the writers. And the number one record ever sold in history is Soul Records I Do Love You by Frank Wilson. One of those copies, just 145, went for $30,000 just a few years ago. So you're the type of person that keep the legacy alive.
Yes.
Because you have the sound of Philly and the sound of Motown all wrapped up into one, and you got a good crew around you.
Yep.
And you're well endowed. Mentally, physically, spiritually. And I see, the women like you. They look at your videos, they're going nuts. When you perform, they go crazy. They go nuts from the video, go crazy when they see you live.
I'm always around, and that's the other thing too. I'm around the soul stuff a lot too, because actually my partner Corey, he's a lead singer for the Intruders.
Oh, really?
He's been doing that for he's a young guy, so he's been doing it for about 10 years.
Really?
So, you know, he always trying to pull me in that side. I'm like, that's your lane, man.
You know, that's something, because I just had a show, you know, Soul Records sponsored a show at a place called Men in the Kitchen restaurant over on 130 in Pennsauken. And, you know, a partner that's did that with me is Rick Coley, who has now That's Entertainment. You know, he's had Gladys Knight, you know, he said Gladys Knight and Charlie Wilson.
Okay, Charlie.
And, you know, he just recently had Stephanie Mills. He had the Delphines review, and he talked to me last night, you know, about the Intruders, you know, about, you know, having them on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because I don't know, are they dealing with Butch Ingram or?
Well, the group that he's in is ran by Urban Mears.
Mm-hmm.
So he was one of the original managers, I think. So,
Okay.
you know, I think it's a couple different groups about
Yeah,
two of
yeah.
them. The Philly Intruders, and you know, but I guess how that one member take a group of guys.
You know, I'm looking for
It's
whoever
funny,
sounds the best.
Yeah, well, he definitely he's a blowaway.
Yeah.
He holds these guys. You know what I'm saying?
You know, but maybe I'll communicate with him about
Oh, yeah.
the next Soul Records
Definitely.
show that we do.
Hey man, listen. If I'm around him,
You
know,
then you know that'll
some
be
good stuff.
maybe you could come around and make a special appearance.
Yeah,
or
man.
something.
Whatever. Like I said, open once I start relationships, and like I said, I like to invite you on my show. Whatever you need, you just let me know.
Definitely
man.
got some more things that we could do together.
And I'll definitely be interested.
You know,
not a problem.
You know, that's fantastic. You know, when we were talking earlier, because you know you had mentioned that you were on the front of the Daily News, the Philadelphia Daily News, and you had mentioned, you know, for some of our viewers who didn't hear it, you mentioned some of the people that you worked with. You know, could you drop some of the names of some of the people that
some of the people I work with, TLC, New Edition, Boys to Men, some of the newer generation, Lloyd, Mariah Carey. I'm trying to think of a lot of people. T.I., Meek Mill done hooks for those guys. So many, man. Black, rest in peace to Natina. So we just, you know, we had Jennifer Hudson. It's a lot. There's a lot of people.
Well, you got a good resume.
Yeah. So, and a number of producers: Brian Michael Cox, No ID, Drummer Boy, Pop Tracks. There's a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, and like I said, this game real quick. You come across. We work with numerous amount of people and do the A&R problems or the song not making the album. But we penned some stuff for some great people.
Yeah, that's great. You know. So let me ask you this, you know, if anybody be looking for you, where can they find you at? You know, look at that camera, let everybody know.
If you want to find me, everything is at RNBisme on Twitter and Instagram. At the letter RNB is me on Facebook. I'm Jay Reezy. My email address, reezyfans@gmail.com for anybody that wants booking anything like that. Just Google me, like they say. Just you type in Jay Reezy and you'll see a lot of things that come up.
Well, everybody should be glad to know that I had you on this show. If you missed it, you missed something. You know, I want everybody to stay tuned again for Soul Records Presents after the show when I have another very special guest. But today we had Jay Reezy.
Appreciate it.